arguments don't really sway people. Culture, the air that you breathe, the intellectual air that you breathe, is what sways people. And so I know many people who believe in things that I think are just unforgivable, like abortion, but I forgive them because I know that they're living in this atmosphere. That's why I'm not angry all the time.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain.
I get it. The culture has been spoiled. The culture has been made toxic. We have people like Catherine Maher at NPR selling lies for their own political and power purposes that infect people's brains. And people, it is really, really hard to explain to people that they're not thinking for themselves because we're not built to think for themselves. There are a few people, this is why there is a thinking class, right? Is there are a few people who are made to think for themselves. Most people accept that the community that they're born into. If you're born in Nazi Germany, it's going to take you a long time before you say, maybe Jewish people are so bad, It's going to take a long time. If you're born in the Soviet Union, it's going to take a long time before you say, you know what? This communism stuff, you told me this was great stuff, but it's not working. I've been listening trying to listen a lot to the young right. And I'm listening to them because I want to hear where they think the future is going. And a lot of times, not all of them, this is not true of all of them, but a lot of times I hear them giving up on democracy, giving up on freedom, on liberty. And I think, well, what problem are you trying to solve when you say you're a monarchist, for instance? What problem are you trying to solve? Why is a monarchy going to be better? Because in America for the last 30, 40 years, we have been freer than any people have ever been anywhere. The only time that the kind of freedom that we have had in America may have existed before was in the era of kings in the Bible, when people just went on their own, and the only time they would have a leader was when the Philistines, or as we call them today, the Palestinians, were trying to kill them, and then they would gather together behind, a Samson or something like that to fight back. But in the meantime, they were free, and until they asked for a king. And I hear these people asking for a king now, just like the Israelites did in those days. And I wonder, what problem are you trying to solve? And the more I listen to them, I got to admit, the more I feel that some of the left, right, the problem they're trying to solve are they don't like black people and they don't like homosexuals. I think that is really the problem they try to solve. And it really bothers me that there are so many ways on the left and the right for saying you don't like black people. DEI is a way of saying you don't like black people. When you cancel classes for gifted students because you say it's not fair because black people can't get into them, you're saying that there's no way black people can get into them, right? And then on the right, they have phrases like human biodiversity or IQ. They get all hung up on IQ. And IQ is a gift. A high IQ is a gift, but it's not the only gift. There are plenty of gifts. And IQ changes over time. During the Great Migration, when people came up from the South, the northern blacks had higher IQs than the southern whites, okay? Things change, and we don't really fully know how they change. We like to talk about it as if we do, but we don't. So here's the thing. When you get back to this thing about Jesus saying, don't judge people, keep saying, how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? He's trying to tell you that when you turn away to judge other people, you're turning away from something, which is you. That is the thing, And the thing about this is, when you let this go, you're so much happier. You are so much happier when you stop, because you don't have to hate people for the way they live. It is right. The people who make you angry are the activists because their ideology is untrue. That's what makes you unhappy. That's what's making you angry. And there's nothing wrong with fighting against an ideology, but there is something wrong with hating people because they look differently. It actually is wrong. I mean, the left has made it so hard. They've made us so bigoted because they're so bigoted. They sell their bigotry, the anti-racism they sell is racism. So it makes us react because right-wingers react. I look at the protesters on the left. I look at those people who are disfigured, their hair dyed, they're weird, my pronouns are this and that. They look so unhappy to me. They look so miserable to me, searching so desperately for someone to tell them how not to be who they are, how not to be. And I hear the groypers and the Jew haters on Twitter and on X, and it just seems to me they're filled with bile and acid. And all I can think, and it's what I say to anybody who's listening, you've tried it your way. Think about how you feel. Why not try another way? Why not try the way? If you want more great stuff, like and subscribe. And please subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show for even more great stuff.